So we have the functional, emotional, developmental capacities, language capacities, visual, spatial processing capacities, regulatory, sensory processing capacities, and family functioning, all things that we are concerned about in understanding each child. Well, those processes have to be strengthened as part of our educational plan. And when we strengthen those processes, and they become the primary goal of the educational plan, then we can get to a thinking-based academic approach, and work on reading, math, and oral and written expression, and the different content areas like history and science and social studies, etc. But we have to begin with strengthening the fundamentals, the foundations. Now, one mom said to me the other day, she said, we'll work on these fundamentals that you're advocating instead of little Johnny's academic skills. But then he won't make as much academic progress, but I realize that these foundation skills are more important, so we'll work on them. And I said, wait a second. I said, that's not correct. That's an impossibility. The first and foremost academic skill, the academic skill that's the mother of all other academic skills, is the ability to think. You can't progress in reading comprehension, for example, without being able to think. You can memorize a few words, you can't do math problems without thinking. You can't understand science or social studies or history without thinking skills. So unless a child can think logically, which means, let's say, combining ideas together, our level 6 of functional, emotional, developmental capacities, or progress into gray area thinking or reflective thinking, the child won't be able to make any kind of academic progress. So to separate thinking from academics is like separating walking from breathing. Well, you can't walk if you can't breathe, or if your heart isn't pumping. And yet that's what we do. We tend to separate these things. So the first basic academic and educational goal is to strengthen the child's fundamental abilities that are part of the child's ability to think.